the Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. Give me some time to share my slide. Selecting a speech topic. Actually, all the topics are within us, with us. The only problem is that either we forget about it, we do not know how to deliver it to the audience. For example, I heard few people talk about durian. They love durian. That's a good topics. Bu Rora love it. Meaning you have audience who love durian. Easy for you to deliver the topics. All you have to do is share your own experience about durian. Okay? Now, let's start. Selecting a topic. The first step, what you do is topic that you are familiar with. Durian, you're familiar with durian, or have a high level of interest in it. You love durian, for sure you have a high level of interest on it. And these topics are often the most successful. People will listen to you. Number one. Sometimes maybe you don't like durian, so you don't want to talk about durian. So share your personal experience or stories. For example, I heard one speaker from Surabaya. His name is Toastmaster Gunung Dia. His speech was very interesting. He was talking about himself. He said, I am from the village. And I went to the city, which is 500 miles from my village. I was shocked. People don't use wood. People don't use wood to cook. They use the gas stove. Something new to him. First time in the city, a lot of things new to him. And the first job was very demanding. And he said after some time, he changed his job so many times. And then he insert humor to that. You know what he said? I changed my job many times. I never changed my wife. You see, humor is important. Always remember the audience love humor. The audience loves stories. The moment you say, many years ago, people will pay attention to you. What happened many years ago? See? Stories. Something that you believe or you have a strong opinion about it. Like, for example, I gave you just now with durian. Or strong opinion is that maybe you believe in education is free for the people of Indonesia. Like many countries, education is free. We shouldn't pay for it. Like in Malaysia, you have to borrow money to study. As a result, when you start working, you already have loan to pay. So your opinion is that education should be free. Students shouldn't be burdened with loan. Before they can buy a car, they have to pay their loan first. Before they can buy a house, they have to pay their loan first. And it hinders them to get married because they have to pay the liabilities first. And that is a strong opinion of my strong opinion about it. Okay. Oh, anecdote. You can say, you save the road, you spoil the child. You save the road, you spoil a child. Do you believe in that? During my childhood days, my father have a road at home. You are not disciplined, you will get it. So we are not spoiled. We are well disciplined. But nowadays, you can't beat children anymore with rotten. You have to use psychology, things like that. And what happened to the new generation compared to the old generation? You can talk about that. Or you can talk about proverbs. Proverb that you believe very much. Like, for example, the bird in the hand is better than I don't know. A bird in the bush is better than a bird in the bush is better than a bird in the hand. You can talk about that, proverbs and debates. You can debate about something, and in this case, you will debate for or against. This is some of the topics you are familiar with, have a high level of interest, and are often the most successful. You can choose. These some of the examples that you can choose. And the best thing is that get it from your own personal stories. Because if you're talking from your own experience, your facial expression will be sincere. The audience can see that. Your body gestures, your hand gestures will be shown. Your voice, your vocal variety will come out naturally compared to something that you don't believe, but you thought you like it will be shown on your facial expression. So choose something that you really believe. And the best delivery is storytelling. Deliver your speech using storytelling methods. And don't forget to inject humor in it. Okay, consider your audience when selecting a topic. Your speech will be more successful if you select a topic that interests your audience as much as it does to you. For example, again, we come back to durian. You love durian so much. You know Bo Rona is there. She like it. She will listen to you. But if Bu Rona say, I don't like durian, it make me headache, forget about it. Nobody's going to listen to your durian story. Okay? And then old folk or young generation, be very careful on this mixture. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, I was working in a bank in the interior of Sabah. So I was calling one customer to the counter. His name is Camillus, Camillus. I called him many, many times. The man didn't turn up. And then suddenly our cashier said, who's the person? I said, Camillus. He's not responding. He's among the crowd. Then pick up, he just said, Camillus. Suddenly a man come and pick up the passport, you see. So you have to be very careful with your words. You talk to the old folks different, to young generation different. And so is to educated person and to uneducated person. Do you know that the Prime Minister of India, the first Prime Minister of India, when they achieved independence, he delivered a speech. That was a very good speech. Try to look at it in the internet and read that speech. Unfortunately, he delivered the speech in English. 85% of the people of India only understand Hindi. So not many people understand his speech. And it's not remembered until today because of that. And like villages, you have to speak their language. City folks, different language. Be very careful on that too. Next. Consider what your audience knows and what you can share with that might be new to them. For example, your audience are farmers and fishermen. They know the trends very well. So you city boy go to the village and wanted to talk about farmers and fishermen. They will say, what this young man want to talk to us? We know this thing better. But make sure you know your subject very well. Maybe you can't teach them how to fish, that can't teach them how to farm, but introduce to them. You can use this fertilizer that will enrich your production. Like something new to them. Maybe they knew about fertilizer, but you introduce a new fertilizer, or you introduce them a new method of farming and fishing. They would love to hear you, right? And the next one is consider your audience when selecting a topic. Your speech will be more successful if you select a topic that interests your audience as much it does. Gender. If the audience are all men, they are talking about women's. But woman, can you imagine what would a man say? This is not for me. This is not for me. The same thing if the audience is woman, you talk about men, they might not listen to you, right? Old folks, the young generation, how you speak to old folks and how you speak to young generation are two different issues. You must use their own channel, then they will listen to you. So it's educated villagers and city folk. Now, you must know who are your audience, or else nobody will listen to you. Oh, sorry, number 5. Think about the goal or purpose of your speech before you deliver a speech. Ask yourself, in Toastmaster, you used to use this word. What is the take-home message? What is it? What it is? What is it for me? What are the speech? I mean, how your speech benefited to me? If I know it benefited me, then I will listen to you, right? And something that we can remember, like the Prime Minister of India, the first Prime Minister delivered a speech in English. People, 95% only understand Hindi, so defeat the purpose of the speech. So that is a take-home message. If you want to deliver a speech, make sure the audience understand you. Make sure you know the lingua of the people. If you talk to the farmers, use their lingua. If you want to talk to the fishermen, please use their lingua. Sometimes you say, I'm using Bahasa Indonesia, how come they don't understand? Can you imagine different places, they have their own lingua? So the inside, like I gave you example, the name of the person, Camillus. I read his name, but he is the local folk of that village. If I say Camillus, he won't respond to me. But when my friend called him Camillus, suddenly he came, and that is the lingua of the people. So the pronunciation make lots of difference. You have to use the pronunciation used by the local people. If your goal is to provide information, make sure you cover your most important points well. So if you're talking about durian just now, what is your point? Why are you giving that information to the audience? Okay? Most important point you want to tell the audience is that buy local fruits. It's good for you. It has a lot of vitamins. You help the business community of that area. This is your vital point so that people understand, oh, if we buy this durian from my neighbor, he will get money for his family, and this durian is good for me. So that is the take-home message again. And people will be motivated to buy your products. Okay, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, that is some of the outline that I can share with you. I saw the light just now was red. Never mind, I give you time, say 5 minutes for you to ask question or clarification from what I've said. Anybody? Anything? Ask me anything. If none, I will conclude my education session. If you want to select a topic, research it within yourself. The answer is all in you. The answer is all in you. Maybe you have forgotten about it. The story that I told you about a person by the name of Camillus, I experienced it 30 years ago. It's in me. But when I did research on this thing, I remember the story. So I share it with you. And some of the knowledge I got it from what happened just now, from one of our speaker was talking about durian. He loved durians. So I share the story with you. And also you can talk about traveling. I heard two people love traveling. You can talk about traveling, why you love traveling, where do you like to travel? Is it in the cold weather, hot weather, temperate weather, tropical weather? There's so many things you can talk about it. Okay? 5 to 7 minutes sometimes it's not enough. You can sometimes over the time, if you're not careful, if you didn't prepare your speech carefully. So in short, in conclusion, don't worry about public speaking. Don't compare yourself with me, with Bu Rona, with Debbie, and so many who are experienced Toastmaster. They has been in Toastmaster for more than 5 years. You only began now. But I noticed that most of you responded to the table topic just now was awesome. Do you know the first time I responded to table topics, I took 6 seconds to respond to table topics. One of the reasons is that I do not know Toastmaster during that time. I don't know what's going on. But you guys are fortunate. You are given a chance to learn about it. And we have a lot of experienced people to assist you. Your job is to learn and to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, nothing much we can do to help you. Okay? With that, I would like to end my session and return the session to our Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster